much depth, they just said, about planets, because it's irrelevant. We're moving fast forward ahead. So whatever's going on planetary, it's irrelevant to some degree, because your energies are shifting, your energies are changing, things are moving fast forward, they just said. Some people are aware and are noticing the difference in energy already. Okay, now they are saying watching your own energy streams is going to be very important as you move forward the next couple of months, October, November, December, and as we go into the new year. Very important that you are aware of your own energy stream, of how you are feeling, and around how those around you are feeling too, because it's going to affect your energy big time. Not that it hasn't done before, but it's going to affect you even more. Okay, so what they want to really address at the moment is about being aware of your intuition, your gut feelings, your sixth sense, and also that psychic awareness in the sense of the energy field around you, because they're saying that many of you are going to be picking up on the rest of the world. Many of you are going to be picking up on those individuals that we meet. Okay. And the reason for you to be aware of that is because of the changing times, that you may pick up on people's insecurities, fears or anxieties. There's a lot of empaths on the planet. We've had a lot going on the planet. There's a lot of change going on the planet at the moment. Big changes, big governmental changes, organizations, voices of individuals will now be speaking up, speaking out, because it's affecting everybody. Everything that's happened over the last year and a bit, what with body ailments, shall we say, and viruses and everything else, and whether to move forward, for some people restrictions. So where you're gonna have, I know I have clients all around the world, and even just one chunk on the planet America. I've got a number of clients in America. I must have nearly 1,000 clients in America now. And there's different parts of America where I've got some clients that are very anti-vaccine and some that are very pro, and that's just one part of the world. And then the rest of the planet, again, what's going on for them. So you're going to have people, humanity, people who are going to be looking at how moving forward, the restrictions coming in and how it will apply for them, and how it's going to apply for each and every one, regarding your personal life, work, jobs and everything, and how it's going to start making some changes, as in working for some organizations where they might insist that you have to have the injection or not the injection or whatever, and it's down to you as an individual what you feels best for you. It's always go with what feels best for you. You're going to have a lot of people on the planet who's going to have family members that are going to be in disagreement with if you have it or you don't have it or whatever, and moving around the world and what you're going to do. Now, this is not to fear. It's literally, it's going to make your voice speak up. And it's been there for ages of, it's time now for your voice to speak up, to sort of say your view on what you want to do moving forward in your life. And I know I was very much triggered, recently I went to France with some restrictions, and I was really triggered by being told to wear my mask and have the passport, sort of as in the piece of paper with the vaccine, COVID pass and everything, and it really did trigger me. It made me feel very uncomfortable. And some people it didn't, and it's absolutely fine, but I think this picked up on some of my past life stuff, and also how I think in this lifetime my voice by certain people in my life trying to not listen to my voice or whatever, and that's another important thing. Okay, thank you. So very important as we move through, they said 6 months, as we move through the next 6 months. Where are we now? So we're October, November, December, January, February, March. Yes, thank you. March, as we move forward right through till March, we're going to have a few changes going on. It's okay, you're going to get through this. It's just literally, it could be a bit of a bumpy ride for a little while. So it's about checking in how it makes you feel. Any situation, how it makes you feel, what's going on for you. So not only just the vaccine, and there's a lot going on the planet right now. Of course, it's byproduct and stuff of other things that's going on for individuals. So as I said, I was triggered by that and how it made me feel uncomfortable, and I had to sit with those feelings. Didn't understand really what was going on for me, but I had to sit with those feelings for a while. Okay, so if we think of people who are globally around the world, there's a lot going on. People might be losing jobs just because of, not just because, thank you, someone just corrected me, because of not wanting to have vaccines and moving forward. But there's a lot of other things. There's a knock on. I'm actually looking at the planet, as they just said, a map of the world, shall I say. I'm looking at the planet, yes, through their eyes, well, sort of, and they're showing me different parts of the world, how they're going to be affected by this. But also, of course, if we think of, it's just not about that, it's about everything else in between these things. You know, losing loved ones, as you know, I pointed out, and I have said this in my previous YouTube, how I lost someone recently, and that brought something up for me as well, because, okay, thank you, this is what they're saying. Okay, thank you. I think this is important to mention, that's why they're bringing it up, but also through what's gone on globally around the planet of losing loved ones, whether it is to, you know, COVID or not, or there's some connection or whatever it is that you've lost a loved one, that also affects us also internally. And what they're saying to me was that you have to be authentic to yourself. You have to go with whatever comes up for you. So through many things. So for instance, through losing a loved one passing over, I had to learn to sit with it. You know, normally I, as a therapist, a counsellor, psychic medium, I want to go in and help individuals. I want to reassure people that come to me. I want to that communication with a loved one on the other side, and so to be in a position where I lost 2 family members within a couple of weeks of each other, that was hard. I wanted also to help, you know, my brother, obviously, because he lost his wife and his son, and then there for my mother, who lost her daughter-in-law and her grandson, and all the other parts that we play in that. And for me, I found it quite difficult because my hands, not that they're tied, I couldn't do anything, and so it led me down, I'm going to do a separate YouTube to this, because it led me down the path of sitting with myself and learning just to be still. And all I heard from spirit was the dark night of the soul, and I'd totally forgotten what that was like. You know, a dark night of the soul also can mean about depression and, you know, places where, you know, where we lose ourselves for a while. And I felt uncomfortable with it, and I'd forgotten that I'd been in that place before, and going through that experience again, that it made me uncover some links and some other information that was going on for me internally. And bringing that up is really just because that, well, again, I'm looking at the map, there's quite a lot of people going through this at the moment, the dark night of the soul, where literally, you know, or a depression or whatever it is, that you having to sit with yourself. It's not trying to fix things, it's actually being in the moment, it's actually feeling the pain, it's feeling the heartache and feeling it within your body. It's that sense of losing something, but what do you do with that loss? It's like, you know, not trying to fill in that space. The reason, again, I mention it is because globally there's a big change on the planet, and there will be things that people may lose their job, may lose their home, lose friendships, people in their life they love. There's a lot going on, and I know this goes on all the time on the planet, but what spirit is saying to me right now, one of my guides, is that humans are quite poor in managing their feelings around it, and that sometimes you just have to sit with the feeling of grief, or the grief of the loss of the job, the partnership, the relationship, the friendship, whatever it is, but you have to sit with it so that I think they just said, so that your cells process it, so that your body, your human body processes it, so that with your human body processing it, that you then work through that. Okay, thank you. Now, let me explain. They said that you work through that. And they're giving me the visual, they're giving me a katalyst. So they said that, okay, thank you, a catalyst of change, and that is what's going on. So as we move forward, it's not, we're not just talking about grief, we're talking about how some things will have to learn to let go of, to release, so that moving forward there's new things that can come into place. So you know, that partnerships, relationships, the things that we lose or we let go of, we surrender, just actually means that we're processing new things, we're changing, we're developing. Thank you. They says there's transitional stage on the planet Earth, that there's great change, and the great change also is the governmental bodies, the structure of how we've lived, financial market. There'll be a lot of change going on, and instead of in the sense of to fear it, thank you, they said not to fear it, it's just to work with that is happening on your planet right now. And those that are very sensitive, those who are true empaths, those who are intuitive, empathic, psychic, you're going to feel it more, you're more sensitive to feeling that. So they want you to know that you've got to keep checking in with, is it you that you're feeling this, that if you're feeling a bit low, or however your mood is it your feelings, is it to do with you, is it connected with you, or is it literally someone in the same room as you, a family member, a colleague, a friend, or someone on the other end of the phone? Are you picking up on them? So they're very clear in saying, keep checking in with you, keep making sure, is it your feelings, is it how you're feeling right now, or is it somebody else's feelings that you could be picking up? So that seems to be very important. That's what they're saying right now. Okay, thank you. They also just said to really be authentic, really do what feels right for you right now. So important. You've got to do what feels right for you. So looking at like not making decisions on behalf of other people, or they're making decisions on behalf of you. It's about you making your own decisions, and to feel and to fit comfortably within those decisions. So it's like, you know, recently it's funny where, you know, I had this dark night of the soul where I was literally sitting there and processing, you know, the loss of some loved ones, and only by going where that feeling felt within my body, you know, working through my chakras, moving it through my chakras, did I realize that what it actually meant for me losing those particular individuals in my life, and through that it was a catalyst episode that helped me to come through that, to sort of see what's going on for me. And there was some fear in some of that as well, which I was surprised that fear is one of the emotions that was attached to their loss. So going back to my team, they're sort of saying, be wary of, or be aware, have the conscious awareness of, thank you, conscious awareness of the feelings and emotions that you are going through, you're encountering right now in your life. And when you have interactions with other humans, or interaction regarding situations, really feel into it. Have a little look at what it could be bringing or stirring up for you. There's been a lot stirred up over the last year and a half, but moving forward there may be more to come for you, but not to fear it, but come to you, but not to fear it, but to know that, what is it bringing up for you? Is it bringing up insecurities? Is it, you know, what I just went through, it was very much about working with my sacral chakra, the lower part of my body, and other parts that were going on, and I was looking at who I am. It was really, you know, who I am, where I've come from, you know, how and how did I get here from my personal life, my personal story. And it really sort of rocked the boat for a little while. It really affected me, and I had to look at that. So very changing times, and that's what's going to go on globally through the planet. Okay, thank you. I know what they brought out. They just sort of said, okay, that's why, you know, they sort of said about the planets and the moon. We have on the 20th a full moon, and we know that we need to release, we need to let go. So it's about, you know, whatever's going on for you right now, you need to work with the 20th, the full moon, a day before, and a couple of days even afterwards, of really letting go of, when you look at what's happening for you right now in your life, or what's been happening over a period of time that you want to release and let go. And by doing that, setting that little ritual for yourself, writing down some ideas of what it is that it's time to let go of, not to be too rigid. They're saying humans must learn to be more flexible. So looking at anything that now it's really just time, that's it. And to write it down on a piece of paper, scrap piece of paper, and burn it, put it into a fire, let go, use a match, whatever you need to do, just to surrender it, just to let go of it. It's really, really important right now to work with that. It will really help you. Okay, thank you. I have to go back to the word being authentic again, because they want to go back to that. So being authentic is really doing what you need to do for you. So for instance, as I was saying, as I was going through that period of time the last couple of days, it was like, what can I do to soothe me, to comfort me? What can I do that used to work for me? And it was really much so about, I've been going to bed with a good book. I've been, nutritionally looking at what I'm eating. I've been really sort of taking care of myself for the last couple of days. And they're saying this is important for all of you who listens to this, that this is the period of time to take care of you now. It's about what can you do, food-wise, your diet, looking at the people around you, your environment, what is it that you can do right now to make some changes going on around you? Okay, thank you. They just said, some people who are listening to this, they're sort of seeing there are clumps of books or belongings that are in corners or whatever, and they need shifting, they need changing, they need moving, because everything around items has energy, is stagnated, and the idea now is really to move things out, just to clear away what no longer serving you, not to have it around you now. And that may mean also, relationships, friendships, partnerships, there's a lot going on, needs to be shifted out to clear it, because moving forward you're going to need that space for new things. Thank you. Okay, so working with your intuition, it's really about that, having that, not working with the subconscious mind. It's really about what comes up for you. So if it's that feeling of, you're sitting there 1 minute and you're doing something, I don't know, watching TV or something, and then suddenly you're like, no, I think I'm going to go for a walk, I need to get out, I need to connect with nature. It's about listening to your body. Your body's talking to you, it's communicating to you. It's like your inner soul is trying to guide you on your journey. So it's about, if you have that sort of, the urge to get up, to move, go and do it. If you've got that urge, to eat that certain food, or you're preparing food and you sort of almost like tuning into the food. It's like, do I really want this? Is it really serving me? I bought some chocolates over the weekend, and there was a chocolate I was about to eat before I started today, and I was like, do I really need it? Nah, because I tuned in with myself. It was about what I was needing for me right now. So really working with that gut feeling, the intuition, working what it is. If you feel like you want to call a friend, or a friend comes to mind, just go with it. Work more with that side of you, so that then I think they just said, so you don't listen to so much external noise, media and everything else, that you sort of start learning as you are the individual animal. When you start working with your own skills, it'll be easier for you then to decide to tune into what is right for you or not right for you. You'll be able to do that more. Okay, and they also just said the psychic side of us, sort of exploring that and working with that, with the psychic side, the external part, our energy fields around us. It's about really sort of tuning into, tapping into the field around you to sort of see how you're feeling with those individuals around you. Working with the psychic side is about really expanding yourself. It's like tuning into people. Now, I had a client the other day, and I don't think they were very happy with what I said, but I had a client, and I found this particular client a little bit nosy, in the sense of would tune into everybody's energies around them. And I asked, why would you want to do that? And they said, well, I'm interested, I'm intrigued how that person's feeling. Now, to me, that's a bit, it's worse than curtain twitching. It's a bit rude. Why would you want to tune in psychically to somebody else's energy? You need permission. It's not your business. How would you feel if someone was like having a little delve into your energy and seeing what's going on for you? So be mindful of that, be aware of your energy. You don't need to go look in somebody else's energy, how they are, and also to be mindful of your own energy field. So, you know, you might have someone walking behind you and you're feeling, gosh, you didn't see them, but you could feel them behind you. It's the same thing. It's been a bit intrusive. So be aware of that, you know, there might be some individuals that might be tuning into your energy and you might not want them there. So it's about really keeping an eye on your energy field around you, you know, golden egg around you, placing it in a position around you so that no one can go into your space and invade it. It's very, very important right now. I just heard from them, thank you, they just said to me, what they want to do is they really want to teach the world, obviously this is for many others, not just myself, but teach the world, teach the people on the planet that, you know, if you're being shown symbols and signs and messages, that you work with them, that you see those signs and messages, really important. So that's really working with the psychic side where you open up more so you can start to see those signs, those symbols that come forward so that you then can be guided. Okay, thank you. They just said not enough of you are actually asking for assistance right now and they are waiting to help you. So loved ones coming forward, your guides, whether you know who they are, the divine source, whatever it is, that is, you know, is there for you. And especially as we move forward over the next couple of months, it's about you really developing that side of you where you can sort of say, hey, you know, this is what's going on. Can you show me some guidance? Can you give me a sign? And then your signs will drop in for you. But that's what it's here for. It's really about you connecting. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. I have to say this seems to be very important, that this was another thing. Now, being your authentic self, doing what you feel is best for you, going down the avenue, going down the pathway of doing what you feel is best for you, like the job you want to do, the food that you want to eat, the programs you might want to watch on TV, the places that you might want to go and visit, the place that you live, whoever you have in your life. If you are authentic to you, you're going to start becoming aware of how individuals will start matching up and coming close to you, start meeting more like-minded people. What's happening is where you're not authentic to yourself, where, say for instance, you could go to a party that you didn't want to go to, or I don't know, meet up with somebody you didn't want to meet up with, or whatever it is. If you're not authentic to yourself, you can go off course a little bit. You're not really listening to your soul. So the idea is, by doing what feels right for you as an individual person, when you start doing what feels right for you from where you are on your journey right now, you're going to start connecting to those like-minded people. And when you start connecting to those like-minded people, you'll have friends that will connect with you. You won't miss their calls. They'll start connecting to you. You might meet them out of the blue, you haven't seen for ages. They'll start connecting to you, and you start then sort of, what's the word? Sort of, let's have a little look. Awakening, igniting ideas, igniting new possibilities. They come back to you. Now, I'm going to do another thing on YouTube about this, about the soul and how we meet up with individuals, because, you know, I was really sort of channeling information this weekend about when we're authentic to ourselves, we start meeting like-minded people more and more. Friends who we might not have had or seen for years may pop in, or friends we've had for years might pop out, and new people come in, and they tend to then be on our pathway. And I'm also saying, believe it or not, I was told this over the weekend, that a particular person can pop back into your life because they're there for a reason. It might be from a past life, that as a soul that you're connecting again, that having that person in your life might actually be putting you back on the right track again, or they might say something that you need to hear because it's going to guide you back on course, or something that's happened to you in this lifetime right now, you needed the other person to come in. There's a lot going on. So I've said this before in another YouTube clip, that where we've had past lives before connected to individuals, especially now there's this opportunity to a lot of soul growth going in, so that we can work karmically with what has gone before in the past to what we are going to move forward into the future. So there's a lot going on at the moment. There's a lot of energies, past life stuff, soul stuff. There's a lot going on, but very much about working more intuitively with what you need right now and being aware to listen really to what your soul needs for you right now.